even get to cross.
What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Mind of a Madman. I'm back again with another really fun theory. This one's a little bit different than my last video. It's not a what if theory, but more something we may actually see in the coming events of the gaming world. Yes, this will be a gaming video. So before I begin, I do want to say a big thank you to a lot of people out there. My sub count has doubled in the last week. Still on the coming up, still a very low number, but to everyone who thought I was awesome enough to stick around for, I do thank you for your time, and I do hope I continue making content that will make you happy you subbed. But back to my theory. So, as you probably can tell from the background behind me, I am a big video game fan. I love video games, PC, console, mobile. I play games pretty much constantly unless I'm working or sleeping. So this is a big topic for me. One of the biggest games that I loved growing up, and I hope a lot of you out there do as well, more than likely you did since the fact you clicked this thumbnail and watched this video, is the fact that Kingdom Hearts was one of my biggest games that I love playing. I know it's kind of weird, Square meets Disney and so on and so forth, but I think they did it very, very well. And one game that's coming out hopefully in the next year or so is a game I've been waiting for since I was in the 10th grade. Over a decade, people. Yes, I'm that old. We're looking at Kingdom Hearts 3. So my biggest question of the day will be, will we see a Star Wars level in Kingdom Hearts 3? Do I think it's possible? Why? And of course, which version of the Star Wars universe will we see? So let's get to the base stuff out of the way. First, yes, I do think, don't quote me, I do not work for Square, I don't have any pre-existing knowledge of this, it just seems to make the most sense to me. We will definitely see a Kingdom Hearts level, by my opinion, in Kingdom Hearts 3. Excuse me, a Star Wars level in Kingdom Hearts 3. Why do I think this? Very simple. One, it is one of Disney's newest acquisitions, Lucasfilms. Two, after this past December, it is shown that the Star Wars universe is still extremely popular in media. Star Wars Force Awakened gives the biggest grossing movie of all time at the moment, taking over both of James Cameron's biggest powerhouses, Titanic and Avatar. Force Awakened gave the biggest box office gross of all time. So do I think Disney would ever not make every penny they could off of this? No. This is one of their biggest new acquisitions and their biggest, most popular franchise at the moment. So I definitely think we'll see this in Kingdom Hearts 3 since they have the ability to bring it to interactive media. Kingdom Hearts is already a well-established franchise with 2 basic console games for PS2, 2 remasters for the PS3, multiple mobile games for PSP and DS, and of course a Asia-only mobile game for mobile phones. So I definitely think we'll see a Star Wars level because this franchise has picked up so much steam and there's no way it won't get a lot of notoriety to see a Star Wars level. What will we see from the Star Wars level? I kind of think it's going to be something similar to things like the Pirates of the Caribbean level in Kingdom Hearts 2. What I mean is there'll be multiple little zones that are accessible by travel. As in with Kingdom Hearts 2 with the Port Royal level, they were able to go from one island to the next, as well as Tortuga, and to another island where the Dead Man's Chest lay. So I do think we'll see something similar to that in which you could travel between a star base, potentially a planet. We'll see exactly how that works out if it does come to pass, but I do think we'll see something similar to that. Do I think this is a good idea? Yes and no. I say yes because I think this will be an amazing opportunity for Kingdom Hearts to get into something that they tried doing with the Tron level in Kingdom Hearts 2 and jumping this game series into a level of sci-fi, which they really don't have too much. It's more of a fantasy device from Disney. Tron was a definitely sci-fi movie, and they brought that in very well in Kingdom Hearts 2. This would even be a bigger step into the sci-fi universe with one of the most iconic sci-fi series out there, Star Wars. Why do I say no? It might not be a good idea. Because we've already seen there is potential for big error in bringing in large titles into Kingdom Hearts and doing them incorrectly. No one will ever forget how angry everyone was seeing the Atlantis level in Kingdom Hearts 2 turn into nothing but a button-pressing musical. Some people liked it, but the vast majority of people said, yeah, this is not what we signed up for. They were looking for something similar to the Atlantis level in Kingdom Hearts 1, where they were swimming around using some of their more unique movement styles of swimming to fight off Heartless and save the day. So if Star Wars is done right, it can be an amazing experience, just like most other levels we've seen in Kingdom Hearts. But it also can be a very bad thing if done wrong. And it's very, very easy to do a Star Wars level wrong, as seen by the Star Wars franchise itself, which leads to the next question, and the last question of this theory. If we do get a Star Wars level, which one will we see? There's now been 7 films, 3 different generations of the Star Wars trilogy. We have the originals in the 1970s, we have the remakes in the early 2000s, and now we have, the remakes, the prequels of the 2000s, and we also have the most current incarnation, which is after a very long time skip after the original 3 ended. So essentially, if you don't know Star Wars, we had episodes 4, 5, and 6, episodes 1, 2, and 3, and now we have episode 7 picking up exactly where it left off in episode 6, but a good time after that ended. So that does lead to a question, which Star Wars world will we see? Will we see Generation 1, which is technically Generation 2, Generation 2, which is Generation 1, or Generation 3, which is the most recent incarnation in Force Awakens? My opinion is going to be very, very simple, and it may not be popular, but I do think this makes the most sense. I don't think we're going to see Generation 3 just yet in a Kingdom Hearts level, unless we have to wait another 1.5 to 2 years for Kingdom Hearts 3 to be released. Why do I say this? Because there's a lot of unfleshed out things in Force Awakens. There's a lot of questions, a lot of things up in the air, main character deaths, which I won't go into, because if you haven't seen Force Awakens, you definitely should, but it'll also be a big spoiler. But there's a lot of things out there that may or may not be something you want to try and put into a video game, because there are a lot of questions unanswered. What's Luke's role in the story, as he's the face of Star Wars, Luke Skywalker? What happened to Kylo Ren? What happened with Leia? Too many questions up in the air that can't really lead it to a conclusive ending of a story the way a Kingdom Hearts level needs to be, where the keyhole is closed. There's no way they can close a keyhole with this many open-ended questions. I also think we will not see something like the first generation, or episodes 4, 5, and 6. I say this because Star Wars in the original incarnations had a little bit more violence than we probably want to see in a game that's marketed from Disney. What I mean is Luke getting his hand cut off. This is not really a spoiler because the movie's over 40 something years old now, but Luke getting his hand cut off, a lot of anger, a lot of, raw emotion that you really would want from a movie series, but from a game that's marketed towards teens, young adults, and adults. The teen and young child aspect of the Disney universe walking around with Donald and Goofy, I don't think anyone's looking forward to seeing Goofy walking around and get his hand cut off by Darth Vader. So I don't think they'll be able to pull that out. So my best guess, if it does happen, we'll probably see a Star Wars world based off of episodes 1, 2, and 3. I say this because episode 1, which was the episode with the young Anakin Skywalker, would probably be the most child-friendly episode, with the races in the desert, with a young Anakin just coming into his own, not really knowing anything about it. It really would be a good way of looking at a child's perspective of the Star Wars universe. Also, there's a lot of room for growth. As we've already seen with the original Kingdom Hearts games, you do have to revisit worlds later on for newer, more difficult challenges. In doing so, they could also have a time skip kind of thing where between episode 1 and episode 3, we see Anakin grow from a very young child to a very full-grown adult. We could see that done very well in a video game universe with the episode 1, 2, and 3 arc. I also think they'll try and do this because there's a lot of funny moments. There's more comedy-based items in the first 3 chapters of episode 1, 2, and 3 than you would see in episodes 4, 5, and 6, or even in episode 7. Not saying they'll have their funny moments, but the new prequel trilogy was definitely geared towards a younger audience. So Disney would be smart to use that universe as their main universe in their video game series. Of course, considering the fact that we have a couple of Star Wars games coming out that are one based off of the ends of episodes 3, 4, 5, and 6, and the beginnings of episode 7, I do think we will not see those universes in Kingdom Hearts, because we'll kind of step on the toes of other games they're making. It's basically making a fan fiction of what if Sora ended up on Tatooine with Luke and Leia. We don't want to see that. We want to see something new, something more original, and the episodes 1, 2, and 3 do give enough room to pull that off. So I do think we will see one of those 3 chapters, or all 3 chapters in a stretched out version or compressed version in Kingdom Hearts. Because Kingdom Hearts for the first time is coming to the newest gen consoles. Lest we forget, Kingdom Hearts started out on PS2, Kingdom Hearts 1, and the only adaptations we've seen on newer generation consoles are the remakes in Kingdom Hearts Final Mix 1.5 and 2.5. We have yet to see a Kingdom Hearts game on the PlayStation 4. Because of this, we were finally getting a new content on the PS4. We have the option that Kingdom Hearts has never given us before, downloadable content, which I think is a big possibility of things we may see coming, especially with the Star Wars levels. DLC could expand the game dramatically by adding more worlds or more information in each world, such as adding more episodes, or maybe even saying, okay, if I want to see episodes 4, 5, and 6, and maybe even 7 in the Star Wars world, I could download a pack for that. I do think we will start seeing a lot of DLC options available with this new Kingdom Hearts edition, and Star Wars will definitely be one to take that very, very far, because they have a lot of story to tell in a very generally short time compared to the rest of the game. So it can leave up to the player to decide if they want to see more after the initial taste of the Star Wars universe. So just to recap, what do I see happening? Yes, I do see a Star Wars world of some type in Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't see Disney and Square Enix wasting the potential millions they have to make just by bringing in Star Wars fans to play their game. So yes, I do think we will see a Star Wars world inside of Kingdom Hearts 3. If I had to take a guess, if we do see it, I do expect it to be something on the lines of episodes 1, 2, and 3, which would be, of course, the prequel trilogy. Because that series was geared most towards a younger audience, and I think it would work best in the Kingdom Hearts setting. A little less violent, a little more comedy about it. We may even see Jar Jar Binks. I really hope not, but it is a possibility. But once again, this is all speculation. I hope to get more information very soon. Rumor has it that we'll be getting some information on Kingdom Hearts 3 very shortly. Also coming in conjunction with Final Fantasy VII Remake, which will be coming out in the next month or so. This is not confirmed yet by anyone in Square's offices, but rumor going around the rumor mill is the fact that we'll get some new information about development cycles, how far along they are, and God willing, we may even get an estimate on release timing. Probably not an exact date, but at least a year and quarter. So if information comes up later on that does either confirm or debunk this theory, I'll do a video about that as well. But until then, this is just my thoughts on what we're going to see. That's all the time I have for today, guys. Thank you for joining me at Mind of a Madman. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.